Howdy everyone. This video is to help folks who are using the Freeflight Experience in building and adding custom sites. One of our users contacted me this morning, said it wasn't exactly intuitive, so I thought I would just go ahead and make a short video showing folks how I do it. We're going to start off by getting the rough coordinates for the site that we want to add to the game. We're going to open up Google Earth like this. And let's go ahead and start off by just putting in some identifying name to search for this on the map. Waddell Creek. Waddell Creek is a hang gliding site not far from us, so we fly fairly routinely. It happens to not be in the game, so there you go. That's the general area of the site. And what I'm going to do here is zoom in and go ahead and put a marker here where the launch is. So it happens to be over here on this little bit of ice plant here. So let me just drop a pin like this and put that there. Okay. So the next thing I do is open up the site data file. So I can make an initial entry into that site data file where I'm going to place this new site. So to find that, it's here. You need to navigate on your PC down to the app data local TFFE folder. And in that folder, you'll see a saved directory. And into that saved directory, there's a new site JSON and a site data.json. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up site data JSON, and I like to use Notepad++. We drag this so you can see it. We're going to come down to the very bottom of this file. And here is this from right here. Sorry, hard to do this. From right here to here is essentially one site, a block of site. So from here to here, if I were to make a copy of this particular site like this, copy, and add, hit an enter and a paste, now we have essentially another site added to this particular array. You see here we have this one here is the SOGA site, and then below here, that's where we are. We just added a second SOGA site into the array. Now we're going to change the name of this here to Waddell Creek, like that. We're going to set the time zone to be -8 because it's on the west coast. And next we need to put a latitude, longitude, rough altitude, and heading for the takeoff array. And what this is going to do is get us generally in the location of the site when we go into the game. And then we're going to refine that position a little bit later on. This will be the latitude. I'm going to copy that and put latitude in here. Here's the longitude. Put that in there. And the altitude and the heading doesn't matter at this point. On the coast here, you're going to see Waddell Creek. Let's see. There it is. Look at that right there. All right, so we forgot to do something. Notice that this particular site is showing up blue and not orange like the other ones. That makes it an unselectable site. So we're going to need to go back out and modify the file to change a particular entry in that file. Okay, so what we're going to do to enter this new site in is we're going to put the latitude and longitude of the launch here in the takeoff array. The altitude and the heading don't matter because we're going to reset those in a little bit. The site name, Waddell Creek, and the time zone offset from UTC gets put up here. And then for the landing zone array, we simply want that to be in the same vicinity as the launch, meaning the same time zone. That's going to be important. But the values here don't really matter. Once you've got just that stuff in, like this, we're going to save that array. Then we're going to go back into the game. I'm going to go back into VR. I'm going to go ahead and click this to get to the globe. I'm going to zoom in to the sites. And hopefully we'll see Waddell Creek shown here. And sure enough, it's orange. Okay, good. I click on it. Loading the site. And sure enough, here we are in the glider, obviously way above the launch, but at the right site. This is Waddell Creek, where we fly. So now we're going to go ahead and do the precise placement of the launch. We're going to go to the site tour, like this, and I'm going to teleport myself down to the launch spot. Just like that. And I'm going to point myself in the direction of the launch, like this. Okay, we're going to go down a little bit closer to it, like that, and align myself just like that. So there we are. This is the launch. Now from this point, I'm going to save this position here. Click on Save as Launch. Now we want to do the same thing for the landing zone. The landing zone, we usually land here on the runway. So let's make this the landing zone. Right here is good. Save as LZ. Write the data file. Just those 3 clicks. That's all we had to do. All right. Now we're going to go back to the main menu. So I go Fly Glider, main menu. And now we're going to go ahead and use the data values that I just wrote to a file to adjust the values that are in the site data file. So next to the site data file, there's a file called newsite.json. We're going to edit that with Notepad as well. So now these are going to be the corrected values for the launch and the landing area. What we want to do next is we want to set the altitude for the launch to be 5.16. So we're going to copy that and we're going to paste it into here. And we go back to the new site and we get the heading of 277.9. We're going to paste that here. And then for the landing area, we're going to use this value. And this value. And finally, the altitude. Okay. We saved the site data file. We come back to our VR area here. I go back into VR myself. I'm going to click on the green button. We're going to select Waddell Creek again. Okay, so you can see that by setting myself right on the ground now, this is exactly where my eyes are. So clearly I'm too low. I need to set myself a bit higher than this position. I made it from, instead of 5.1, I made it 6.1 meters. Going to save that. Perfect. All right, so we're just about the right height, right over the at the launch spot. Now we want to make sure that the wind is coming in properly, and it was 277 was the wind direction. So if I adjust the wind direction to be 275, 279, that's close enough. It's blowing at 10 right now. Let's make it a little bit harder, 13. Great. We return to the glider, and I launch. There we go. Up, we're up. Just like flying Waddell Creek. Haven't been here for a while. And you can see the spot is where we told it to be, right at the end of the runway. And I drop back like this, and I'll drop out of the lift band. Stand up for my landing. Yeah, drop the bar. All right, well, that's it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that helps you guys adding new sites. And please take your site data entries, send them to me, post them on our Discord so that these new sites can be shared by all the users of Freeflight Experience. Thanks a lot.